So just to show this, if you skip the Volug base conversation, you still have him at the start of this chapter. So here we go. This is a defend chapter, at least on normal mode or higher. On easy, aka Japanese normal, I know I love saying that, but I just really want to hammer that in. The difficulties were renamed, but on easy, this is a route map, making it very, very different. As a result, this is one of the few maps in the game that has a turn bonus for bonus experience on easy, but not on normal or hard. Because on hard, this will always take 6 turns. Now, the chance of actually game overing by losing the defense spot is minuscule because there's no way Toronu is going to die here. The main risk in this chapter is Jill dying. If she doesn't have transfer bonuses, she might actually be in a bit of trouble here. However, I find that sometimes the AI kind of takes mercy on Jill and intentionally doesn't attack her if she's on low health. I'll definitely take that mercy because getting to her safely quickly is kind of hard. So we have quite a few enemies here, and the boss is a mage. Wyston, I think it is, or Wyston? I think I'll call him Wyston. Now, for some reason, is it just me, or does this guy look like he could be a Harry Potter character? So he has an L-Fire tome, which is effective against Beast Lagoos. Every mage on this map is a Fire Mage. The mages, like Armor Knights, are segregated into their weapon types in this game. And all the mages here being Fire Mages is a problem because that means they're effective against the only Lagoos that we have, who's Volug. There's also a lot of sand here. Mages can cross sand with no penalty. Volug also does well on sand, but everyone else gets slowed down. Thankfully, we don't have any mounted units here because they'd be slowed down really heavily. So as you can see, we have a ton of enemies here. There isn't much in the way of droppable items, but there are a few stealable items. First is the boss's Shine Barrier. If you remember from Fire Emblem 7, this is the same as a light rune. You can put this down on a space and no one can pass through it. Can be kind of nice if you want to just choke point somewhere without using a character to do it. And this guy here has a stealable Master Seal. Something I forgot to mention about Master Seals in the last chapter is that the only obtainable Master Seals you get are in Part 1, because you don't really need them past then. In fact, I think past Part 1, nobody starts out in first tier. And there are actually a lot more obtainable Master Seals than I thought there were. So as for units, we can deploy everyone, so I might as well do that. I mean, Meg kind of contributed last time, so I might as well keep her here. Volug is a forced deployment, and he will be for most of the rest of Part 1. And being a forced deployment, you can't change his starting position, which is annoying, because I'd like him to start closer to here. Soth, I think he's fine in terms of starting position, because I want to send Soth around here to try and swipe that Master Seal and the boss's Shine Barrier. I'll need to make sure this guy doesn't suicide himself into Soth, though, before I steal his item, that is. So, Edward, you're going to go further forward, because we have some fighters that you can take down. Aaron might be able to climb up here and get a vantage point for javelins against these lower enemies, but unfortunately there are a lot of axe users down there. Nolan might help too. We have a couple of Myrmidons though. Nolan won't exactly like to fight them. Notice how the enemy's stats are still pretty decent. I mean, 15 speed is quite good for this point in the game. I mean, I guess Meg kinda has defense, so she can go a little bit forward. Ileana on this end might not be a bad idea. There are a lot of enemies to deal with initially on this map, and this map can be kind of problematic if you can't get past the first few turns, so let's do it. Oh, one more thing, treasure. So there is a concoction, I believe, right here, and then there's a coin somewhere else in the map. I don't really care about the coin. Anyway, I want Nolan to start more around there so we can climb up the ledge faster. And yeah, we should be good, so let's go. So first thing to lock in your range so that Soth doesn't accidentally kill you, but then Soth can go down here and start daggering this guy. Sadly, there is no Brave Dagger in this game, so I can't say dagger, dagger, dagger. Well, I mean, I guess you could do Adept, but still. Speaking of Adept, so yeah, Zihawk has Adept here. Adept, I believe, is now, its activation rate is now speed percent rather than skill percent. So that has changed since the last game. Something else I should mention that I actually forgot to earlier is that Biorhythm. So Biorhythm is even worse than I said it was back in 1.1. Because not only does it affect your hit rate by plus or minus 10, but also, Biorhythm in this game affects your skill activation rate and your chances of finding treasure. So at the highest position, you have a 10% more chance of finding treasure and 10% more chance of triggering your activation skills, and minus 10% at the lowest position. And that's a really big deal, seeing as there are a lot of very strong activation skills in this game. Yay, a light level up, even though Micaiah doesn't need anything but Fanny in part 1. So yeah, summary, Biorhythm sucks. I like this game more than a lot of people do, but there are two things in this game that I will never defend. Biorhythm and the support system. I hate both of them with a passion, and nothing will ever convince me otherwise. Alright, I'm going to send Nolan up here. I'm not going to say it though, because this could still miss. Now, since I didn't say it back in the last chapter, do I get one more in this one? We'll see, I guess. Okay, so Nolan's gone up there. And that means, yeah, here's the thing. Hey, you can't get to Micaiah, which is good. You can't get down that ledge, which is also good. So, right, what do I need to do here? I need to Volug you in the face. Also, this mage right here. Be wary of him, because his movement is very high thanks to being in the desert, and, you know, mages and deserts. Actually, yeah, I think I'll do this, because if I go here, hopefully Laura will not be in range of the fighter if she goes to heal Edward, and I will need to heal Edward, otherwise the fighter will hit him, and then the mage will hit him, and then he might die. And of course, Volug does a Howl of Victory. I wonder how often real wolves actually do that. Not I mean like the Howl of Victory, just the Howl in general. It always feels like the kind of thing that, you see it so often in fiction that you feel like it has to have been exaggerated. Oh right, I just realized something. Just realized that, yeah, I need to be careful with Soth's inventory, because I have to steal both the Master Seal and the boss's Shine Barrier, and you can't steal if your inventory is full. I wonder if Ileana will be... I mean, Ileana probably won't be good down there, because there's going to be more physical reinforcements spawning. And Meg, she just won't really be good anywhere at this point. When adjacent, huh? So if you didn't buy bronze knives for Soth in the previous chapter, you probably should now, because even though bronze knives have 1 might, mages have such low HP and defense, they pretty much 1 round mage is guaranteed, so very useful for Soth to have. And you're running back to get heals. On easy mode, when this is a route chapter, you want to make sure to kill that priest on the player phase. Oh, nice one, that's how. That means you're stunned for a turn. But you'll want to make sure to kill that priest in the player phase, because he obviously can't suicide himself on the enemy phase. Of course you'd attack Aaron, what was I thinking? I like that though, because Aaron needs a little bit of experience. He hasn't been doing all that well, and I actually want to get him promoted by the end of part 1. Like I said, this priest here, he can be annoying. In case I didn't mention it on the map screen, this is a route chapter on easy. But it's a defend chapter on any higher difficulty. Also, Z-Heart can get into trouble occasionally too, because these guys have weapon triangle on him. So ironically, Z-Heart's actually more survivable here on hard mode due to the lack of the weapon triangle. Weapon triangle or no though, Tyronio is ridiculous here. Tyronio is pretty much broken in part 1, except for one catch that I'll be talking about when I get to his bio, because obviously these 3 are going to join. They don't join during the chapter itself though, they join afterwards. And annoyingly, they're going to go ahead and kill these enemies, and if Jill doesn't have transfer, she might not have been able to kill this guy. This seems to hint that you might be able to recruit them in this chapter by talking with Soph, but you actually can't. He does have unique dialogue with them, like I said before. Okay, good, Aaron can actually climb up this turn. However, also yet this guy's stunned. There he is. And yeah, move. 5 - 5. So he can't move, but he can still attack. So, just like the stunning skills in Path of Radiance, it's really not the best thing in the world, but it's okay. Question, should I have Edward climb up, or should I have him take down the fighter? The answer lies in whether or not you double or not, and you do double, so I might as well take you out with Ileana. Even though I don't really plan on using Ileana. But a lot of people seem to like her, and here's a crit for those who like her. As I said earlier, the mage critical animations in this game are so much better than Path of Radiance. They're a lot like the GBA mage criticals. The third tier mage criticals, or activation skills in particular, look amazing in this game. And yeah, height bonus is still pretty bad. Speaking of bonus, Micaiah versus enemy mages, which is supposed to be her strong suit, but... Oh, and it looks like you can't attack anyway. Yeah, she's still not great against enemy mages. So... yeah, you won't be able to attack from there. Soph can actually get in danger here, because his defense is good, but there are a lot of enemies. So, yoink! I'll need to get Volg down there to quickly swap inventory with him so that to free up space for Soph. That was not a good level for you, but Soph doesn't really need much in the way of level ups in part 1. His speed and strength are pretty much overkill for the entire part. Until the very end, I guess. You know what, maybe I will have Edward climb up. Then I guess he can wind edge down against the archers. Though I sort of want to do that with Aaron or Nolan to get their experience. And nice job not missing there. There will be more reinforcements spawning too. There'll be some Myrmidons coming from below our starting position. And let's just go ahead and heal. Maybe you two can finally get a support. I added Aaron and Laura to the TV Tropes page for this game under fan preferred couple only because, like, it's not that people like them as a couple, but more that people are desperate that they had people desperately wanted them to have a paired ending because otherwise they're just so bland and flat with no personality. So people are just at least begging for them to have some kind of interaction together, but no. They are newcomers to Radiant Dawn, and therefore they have no development at all. Maybe I should not put Nolan there. However, I can hand act with Nolan from here. I hope I hit both of these. Of course. But that's not the end of the world. I'm glad I didn't say it there. You know, the thing. The thing that I could have said. I think Aaron will be okay. In fact, Micaiah could actually sacrifice for Nolan if I wanted to, but I don't really think that's the best idea. And who I have down here... This is going to be really stupid, but... I guess, at this point, Leonardo's a little bit more useful than Meg, so I might as well let him get the kill here. At least we're seeing Meg fight a bit. Now I just realized something. I'll say it after this battle is over. By the way, I was going to talk about music, and I guess I'll talk about music here. You can use this battle theme while it lasts. This is actually the last chapter where it plays. And a free vulnerary, nice. And Volg is crazily mobile on this map. He can go pretty much wherever he wants. He's actually a little weakened though. I think I'll just send Micaiah up there. The faster you get around here, the better. Because then you can hold off some enemies over that gap. What I was going to say though is that this map theme here, it's called Storm Clouds. This used to be one of my least favorite map themes in the entire series, but having played Radiant Dawn recently, it's really grown on me. I don't know, I like this song a lot more than I used to. Doing just not enough damage. You know, I probably should have forged it. I got a lot of gold last map. I should have forged Aaron a lance. I guess I can do that. Actually, no, wait. No, wait, I just realized I was going, like, okay, I need to forge Jill and Axe next chapter, but I just realized you can forge as many weapons as you want in this game, per chapter. Don't need to worry about that pesky one chapter limit, and in the English version, you don't need to worry about the forging point limit at all. There is something interesting regarding forging points that comes into play later in the game. It's another instance of a typo or mistranslation that got corrected in the European version. But I'll wait until part 3 to talk about that, because that's the only time it's relevant. And it's only during one chapter as well. I still like how both the player and enemy phase battle themes pick up where they left off whenever someone else starts fighting. Most Fire Emblem games nowadays do that, but this was the first game that started that trend. That mage, for some reason, doesn't tend to move, so usually Z-Hark is okay here. I say usually. Don't do 11 damage, please. Thank you. Z-Hark is pretty much a guaranteed kill offensively, but defensively, he can get hurt quite a bit by those soldiers. And speaking of soldiers, yep, right on cue. So 2 soldiers from up here, and usually Jill flies in and kills one of them, so I don't need to worry too much about these guys. But let's see, Aaron is very badly hurt, which means I kind of need Aaron to go back there so Laura can heal him, but I guess he could go here, throw a javelin, and that's not a hand axe. Laura will still be able to get up here and heal. And yeah, Aaron's not doing his battle start ready pose because he is heavily injured. It's a nice touch in this game's animations. Okay, so you're down, and that means that Wind Edge isn't going to do enough, unfortunately. And that's a hand axe, so I don't want Micaiah to fight. In fact, I really don't want Micaiah to fight this guy. Yep, instant kill. So, and this is a somewhat defense-blessed Micaiah too. I guess I'll just use the steel sword for now. I can always wind edge the archers when they're right under me. And I thought that might happen. Edward doesn't exactly have the best luck, so he's not that great at dodging. And that's weapon triangle advantage for you against Edward, so, I have an idea. Like I said in Path of Radiance, the shove command has 1,001 uses. In this case, getting someone who's potentially in danger out of range of enemies. Go lock your range in, because you do move. And killing you, at least on this mode, is optional. Not so much on easy mode, though. Or Japanese normal. You get what I mean by now. Maybe I should actually sacrifice here. I will do that. Whenever I see sacrifice, I always hear a bit of that song from Road to El Dorado, It's Great to Be a God. Yeah, you climb up next turn. And Soth will... Haven't actually used the card at all. It's, well, kind of powerful by knife standards, and by kind of powerful I mean 4 might. But it does have a decent crit rate on it. But yeah, the Beast Killer is amazing. 9 might, 20 crit. It's an extremely good dagger. Closest thing you'll get to a killer weapon for a dagger, and I might use that now just because I want you gone. I don't want to overuse the Beast Killer too much. We will be getting another one before the end of part 1. Either that or during 3.6. I know that you get a second Beast Killer later on, but Beast Killers are really, really good daggers, so you want to make sure to use them whenever you can. In emergency situations in the previous chapter, the Beast Killer was very effective, but I don't really need it very much in that chapter personally. thought you'd do that. And Nolan does have a hand axe, I can tell because of his map animation. The archer probably would have missed Edward anyway. Oh, I hate it when this guy does that. Ugh. Yeah, when you can't double the archers and that priest is there, that gets annoying sometimes. Like I said, Jill usually takes care of those soldiers. I don't like it when she does that, but it's necessary sometimes. And more reinforcements. However, if I do this, then most likely this guy will end up attacking Nolan on the enemy phase before the priest can heal him, and that will get rid of him. This is a problem. I actually kind of like Volug being up here, because I want to have Volug later on and jump down to lure this guy closer to Soph. So, for now, you're going to go over there. Meanwhile, Edward is going to... Nice one, Edward. Had a feeling he could one round with archers. And a critical. Didn't even need a one round. That was a one shot. That's interesting. You can't even attack up at us. Attack up at us sounds like weird grammar, but it's not really, I guess. Oh, right, you couldn't have even reached Z-Hark even if you wanted to, because your movement is terrible. Because Path of Radiance mages. You, however, can get out of the desert, so I'll need to pay attention to that. Double? No. 22 versus your... these Myrmidons. Okay, yeah. I am learning from my mistakes. Yes, I did fail this chapter once. Meg is getting away from those Myrmidons. Let's just say bad things may have happened to her in an earlier attempt. I mean, Jill probably would have taken you out on the enemy phase anyway, but... on the other phase, I mean, but... at least this means a bit of experience for me. And I think Leonardo needs to jump up here too. So, it's a ledge party. Everyone's up on this ledge. And you... yeah. I think Micaiah shall use her and her. Which is what I'll be calling it for the rest of this playthrough. Oh, Aaron hasn't moved yet. In fact, Aaron will take on these Myrmidons. Aaron will hopefully do well against these Myrmidons. I mean, he's... actually, I don't think he's going to get doubled. They've got 11 and 12 crit. Yeah, I don't want to risk the criticals. Because I may have been burned by that before. Now, let's just equip a bronze dagger and use an herb. Oh wait, no, you are moving. So the one with the weapon triangle's advantage can attack Nolan. Smart move on your part. Very smart move. What? No, really, what? I'm really confused. Now, last time I played this map, the enemy did do some very strange things with their AI, but that absolutely baffles me. Why would you not heal that guy? You healed neither of the ones who were weakened, and instead walked back next to the boss and did nothing. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I will never get the AI in this game sometimes. Seriously, what was that priest thinking? That was a great level up, though, by Aaron. What the heck was that priest even thinking? I think he's, like, his AI is programmed to stay next to the boss if he doesn't have anything else to do, but he does have something else to do. Heal that, that soldier with the javelin, so... it's confusing. The AI sometimes... I'd love to actually crack open the Fire Emblem AI program and dissect it sometime, because some of their decisions just make no sense to me. I did not realize that Volug was in range of you. However, that is height disadvantage, so hopefully this does not hit. If it does hit, Volug is likely to die, so please don't hit. Good. So yeah, Volug is a we cannot go on without you character for the vast majority of Part 1. In fact, I think for the entirety of Part 1. More reinforcements. Okay then, that was not what I expected to happen at all, and that means this guy is likely to suicide himself into Edward or Nolan, before I can steal his thing. That's good damage though. Here's another reason why wind edges are awesome. It lets sword-locked units take advantage of height. Well, there's speed finally. Not that he really needs it, but still. Like I said, Lagoos need to be very careful of effectiveness bonuses in this game because it. I should have equipped the other hand axe. Actually, wait, no. There is something that I can do to remedy that. I think. I've never tried the trade trick before. Although before I do that, I'll need to move Volug back on. There is actually a wall here, so it's a wall you can shoot through, but it is not one you can move through. So if I move Volug back one space, he shouldn't be able to get attacked by things, but anyway. So, a lot of people have asked why I haven't done this before, but I've never actually tried this, really. So, if I trade that away from you, then trade the hand axe back to you, and then the... But you're not equipping the hand axe. But judging by your map model, I think you are now. Yeah, you are. Okay, good. I did the trade trick right. Nice. So, I can breathe easy knowing that I have not embarrassed myself on YouTube by failing the trade trick on my first try. Yeah, that crit rate is nothing. I don't want to send Meg down there, though. Because the crit rate on her could be everything. Hint, hint, that may have happened to me in an earlier attempt. Hint, hint. And you can't even climb up there. I guess, for now, I could try and go for the concoction. Did not get it. I'm pretty sure that's the right space. Also, don't exactly want Soth to get mobbed by both of those guys. But maybe... Okay, let's just see this. Let's... Dagger the one with the higher attack power, which is you, I believe. No, it's you. Okay. Those are actually some not bad stats for a random soldier. Yeah, in Path of Radiance, enemies had incredibly incompetent stats. That's not the case in Radiant Dawn. At least not on English normal / Japanese hard mode. So something that I haven't mentioned yet is that when I went to record some bonus footage for, namely the glossary and the character tree, I played easy mode for the first time ever, and it's actually kind of interesting. You get more I just realized you can still attack Volug, but because he's on full health, he's not going to die. Oh, but if you go all the way down there, Soth is not going to be able to reach you in time to seal the Shine Barrier. But anyway, like I was saying, so you do get more experience on easy, but there are a lot less enemies in every chapter. So take 1-2, for example. You'd think that that being a route chapter would mean, yeah, I thought you'd do that. You'd think that being a route chapter would mean that you get more experience, but there's actually no reinforcements in that chapter on easy. At least not that I completed the map fast enough to not see any. So if there are reinforcements, they would come very, very late into the map. Why didn't you attack Edward? Anyway. So, I actually ended up, at the point that I played up to, which was 1-4, my characters were significantly lower level than they were in this playthrough, despite this mode giving a bit less experience, but that's because there's just a lot more enemies in this mode. Of course you would do that. And we're coming up on the final turn, and a lot of reinforcements spawn on the final turn, I believe. Aaron's starting to do a bit better. He's still not good at doubling things, but he is definitely going to seal that Shine Barrier now. I'm pretty close, though. Okay. really do not want Edward getting hit by the boss, but... yeah, maybe, yeah, if I equip the Wind Edge, I need to hit both of these, and that might be famous last words, but that'll mean that if the boss does decide to go for Edward, Edward will be able to counter him. I'm doing this just to see if I can actually get Volug through to shove Soth one space and steal the Shine Barrier. I probably won't be able to, but we'll see. Okay, so with you gone, Volug can... just out, and I can't shove Volug because... unless somehow killing that guy will mean that Soth can get to the boss, but I highly doubt it. And meanwhile, Nolan will... yeah, notice how this guy can counterattack, but it's 0 damage because it's a staff counterattack. It's pretty much the theme with staff counterattacks. And I axe down a defenseless priest. That gives me a level up. That thing is gone now, and... yeah, I could try that. There aren't many enemies left in this map either. Oh, by the way, an archer is in range of Jill. You might think that's a bad thing, but no. I'll explain why that's not a bad thing when we get to Jill's bio, which I'm very looking forward to getting to. Let's just say they broke Wyvern Riders in this game big time. They actually did manage to nerf cavalry since Path of Radiance, which is impressive, but they made Wyvern Riders way too good. Ugh, still not enough. I mean, the Shine Barrier is not that big of a deal, honestly. I rarely use them, even if I do get them. It's nice to have, and I guess I could transfer it to the Part 3 party for selling if I really wanted to, but... I like getting every optional item in the chapter, but the Mask Seal was the real prize. Also, yeah, I need to trade with Soth because, yeah, he's, got a full inventory. I could at least get a little bit of experience for Leonardo here, or I could show a special boss conversation with Micaiah. Now, is there any way Soth does not kill you? I highly, highly, highly doubt it. Yep, there's no way Soth doesn't kill you. So, I'll need to attack first with Micaiah if I want the boss conversation. And she has to move out of that spot anyway, because Archer, so... let's do that. I guess we can go for a second chance at getting the concoction if we want to. Like I said earlier, Fanny has a lot of uses, and we're getting a second one pretty soon. This is actually an important conversation to get, because, yeah, what are they doing out here? No way you're gonna slash your way past Toronto, though. And nope. Unfortunately, I can't really get the finishing blow with anyone who desperately needs experience. And like I said, I can go for a second chance at the concoction here, so I might as well. There we go, got it! So, a concoction restores 40 HP, and it has a pretty generous 6 uses, so... there are a lot of very strong healing items in this game, and that's part of the reason why healers, like staff users, aren't as useful. I still find they're alright, though. That's kind of an interesting callback to the last game. And hopefully goodbye. Yes, goodbye. I like to at least make sure to kill the boss in this chapter. It's a lot of experience, too, for a pre-promote. That's not a bad quote. And that's really all we can do at this point, so let's just end it. Yeah, as you can tell, that guy didn't even go for Jill. And that's chapter over. So I'm going to be going back and showing these special conversations with Soth here now. So yeah, why are they here? We'll find out, but the chapter title should make it pretty obvious. Oh no! Oh no. Remember this guy? He showed up for one chapter, well not even one chapter, just a tiny dialogue scene at the beginning of chapter 28 of Path of Radiance, and then disappeared. Many people were confused as to why he even existed or even have a name, but he was a sequel hook. Unfortunately, Toroniu seems to recognize him as a master, and that's terrible. We found Ashnard's son. Unfortunately, he has the worst advisor in the history of the world. This must have been what Micaiah's vision was all about, but we knew the prince was in the desert anyway, so... The reason I was quiet there is so you could hear the beauty that is Izuka's theme. Why would anyone trust someone who has a theme song that sounds like that? Toroniu, I've lost a bit of respect for you. I've gained it back again. At least Toronio's not happy working for this guy. And speaking of theme music, this has got to be one of the most depressing character themes of all time. So, this is Ashnard's... I don't think they were ever officially married, but Ashnard's consort. Why she would ever go for a man like Ashnard, we'll actually find out more about how that happened later. Okay then, that was sudden. But considering you're the one giving her this position, there's gotta be a catch. Well, no war experience beyond these 5 chapters that we've just gone through. Actually, 6. Okay then, conquests? Yeah, call those conquests. They really weren't. Pretty sure anyone could see through that. The problem is, we don't really have much of a choice here. Izuka, as much of a horrible person as he is, and as much of a complete idiot as he is, he kind of has a point here. Something tells me this conversation was expanded on a bit in the extended script because Micaiah goes from saying no to agreeing very abruptly in this version. I don't think it's you who should be promising that. Cough, cough, the guy standing next to you. Yeah, I trust in your word, but not his. This moment's actually pretty interesting. Even if that help, just means being a figurehead leader. And essentially being Izuka's puppet, we don't really have much of a choice here. Sensing feelings in someone's heart, where have we heard that before? Most of them. Well, that's at least better than millions of possible visions and only one of them ends in us winning. That's kind of Soth's catchphrase, and the Japanese fanbase loves to mock him for it. I believe the meme is something like, "I will protect Micaiah," in brackets lol. And Soth is frequently referred to as the Green Zephyr lol. That's his actual epilogue title, but Japanese fans think it's not really very well achieved. Oh, okay, the Green Unit experience does count. Nice. So them killing those enemies was kind of a bonus. So this chapter, because it's a route map on easy mode, it's one of the few chapters in the game that has a turn bonus on one difficulty but not on the others. So yeah, on easy there's a turn bonus here. There is not on normal or hard. But with that, we've officially graduated from being the Dawn Brigade to being the Day and Liberation Army. And you'll see what that means in the next chapter. Unfortunately, it means we're kind of serving under one of the most horrible people in the entire duology, as you will know if you played Path of Radiance. Thing is, Taroniu wasn't there to witness Izuka being involved in the experiments at Gritnia Tower back in the last game, so I can kind of understand why he's not doing anything, but it's still annoying. Anyway, see you next time. So yeah, Meg is definitely getting doubled by them, and she has 10 defense to their... But I'm pretty sure, stupid unit tanks being in the way, yeah, I'm pretty sure only one of them will be able to hit her, so... She'll take 16 from one of them, and I did remove her anti-critical skill, which could come back to bite me right here. And I need to restart this chapter anyway, because of course, removing Meg's skill did come back to bite me.